Huge game for the Sun Devils tomorrow at Kansas State against the 20th ranked Wildcats. Here to talk about it with us, the head coach of the Sun Devils for his weekly visit, Kenny Dillingham, checks in on the Arizona Sports Line. Kenny, good morning. How are you?
I'm phenomenal. How are y'all?
Doing real well. Let's go back to last week. I want to know how much, because there was a lot of camera shots of you on the sideline toward the end of the first half in the UCF game. You didn't look all that happy. How did your mood change in that last minute with that turn of events and then the way your team handled the second half against UCF?
Yeah, I still wasn't that happy. Even though those plays happened, I didn't think we played great in the football game. Didn't think we coached great. And then, I didn't think we had a lot of fire. And so I was trying to just get the guys fired up. There were some opportunities there with some things that happened on our sideline, so I was just trying to get some energy with our guys. So that was kind of what I was doing there.
Kenny, we were just talking about the big win for Bobby Hurley over GCU for the Arizona State men's basketball team yesterday. There's real tangible momentum that we can sense not only for the basketball program, but for your football program as well. So I was wondering from your perspective, is that a tangible thing that you can feel right now, the momentum for the school and everything that's been building for the last couple of months here?
Yeah, obviously, this state loves a winner. The city loves a winner. I mean, most people that move here, a lot of people that move here, they move here for the winter when it's nice out, right? They move here for the weather because they were successful in life. Most people in this state love a winner, and the fact that, some of the sports we're starting to win, I think people are going to rally behind it.
Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, our guest as he is every Friday here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings, getting ready for Kansas State. Jordan Tyson has had a very good season and has become the go-to wide receiver. 2 touchdowns in the second half to kind of help ice that game, including the game winner. What have you seen in terms of development this year from Jordan Tyson? We had a really uneven year last year with the injuries, but how much has he grown this year, Kenny?
An unbelievable amount, not just on the field, which you guys see, but off the field. Coach Ward has done such a phenomenal job, Hines Ward, in terms of just developing him in terms of what his habits should be, getting in the cold tub, getting in the hot tub, contrast, watching extra film, like going to talk to the quarterback after every rep. The amount of growth he's made just as a person and from a non-athletic standpoint is unbelievable. And you're starting to see that carry over on game days because he's feeling good on Saturdays because he's taking care of his body. He's not having many MAs because he's preparing like a pro. And then him and Sam have been on the same page because they put in the work. So couldn't be more pleased with JT.
When you look at this Kansas State matchup, one of the best rushing attacks in the country, but you guys have been pretty darn good at stopping the run as well. What do you think has led to that success in that part of the defense, and how big of a factor is that going to be on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, we practice tackling. We have inside runs / team run periods every week. And, it's a physical game. I mean, you can be cute. You can throw the ball around and do all the cute stuff and run cute formations and do all that, but that doesn't win. That hides problems, right? You can do that stuff if you need to hide issues like we had to do sometimes last year. And at the end of the day, it comes down to who's going to beat the person in front of them. Who's going to win mano-a-mano? And if you can consistently win mano-a-mano, then you're going to win a lot of football games. And that's been the mantra. That's been the mindset of our guys getting back to January, getting back to spring ball. So I think just that mindset of we're going to run the ball, we're going to stop the run, and everything's going to start up front. I think our guys are believing in it and buying into it.
Yeah, along those lines, Kenny, it seems like every week we're asking you about going up against a top-flight opposing running back. We've done it with Taj Brooks. We've done it with Neal at Kansas. Harvey last week, you had glowing things to say, and he was really good against you guys. But this week in DJ Giddens, another one of the leading rushers in the Big 12. What does he offer that's maybe different? What's challenging about defending him?
Yeah, he has great contact balance. Last week the guy was so explosive laterally that one seam, and he had such great patience. This week it's the contact balance. He's not going to go down easily, and then if you stone him, he's going to run his feet to get an extra 2 yards. So I think that's the challenge this week is how do we prevent a 3-yard run from being 5 yards, a 7-yard run from being 10 yards, a 0-yard run from being 3. Like, how do we prevent his yak How do we make the tackle on him when we're one-on-one, because he's got such great contact balance? If you dive, you're not going to get him down. So this is we got to gang tackle this dude. We have to push the pile back. Otherwise, this guy has the ability to get hidden yardage left and right and keep them in good down and distances.
Sam Levitt has been so impressive for you guys and stepping up for big moments, and these are two giant games for you guys, an electric road atmosphere to head to tomorrow, and then the big BYU game next week as well. How much are you as a coach looking forward to seeing how he responds to these moments and the improvement that he is going to get from experiencing these moments?
Oh, the dude loves to compete. So these are the games that I'm, least worried about, because he loves to compete with him. And so far this year, he's rose to the challenge, when we've been down in games, because that's his nature and he loves that. Does that mean he's going to be perfect? No. But I love putting him in environments where his back's against the wall, where people are counting us out, like this week being 8-point underdogs or 9-point, whatever we're at, on the road in Manhattan, Kansas, in November, them coming off a bye week. Like, I love that, because you really get to see what people are made of. So I'm excited to see not just what Sam, how he's going to respond, but what our entire football team's going to do.
Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, our guest here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Got a win last week. A lot of people were wondering, what is the ASU offense going to look like without Cam Scadaboo? How you get the win without him, but how challenging was it to keep Cam on the sidelines last week? And if he's ready to go this week, can he be the Cam Scadaboo that we all know and love?
Yeah, he can 100% be the Cam that we all know and love. And it was challenging. He texted me right before, an hour before kickoff. Are we doing this? Doing what? I'm like, you're out. Like, what do you mean? What are we doing? Yeah, we're playing, and you're going to be a great teammate. And then at halftime, we come out, and he's like, should I go get my pads on? I'm like, what are you talking about? No, we are fine. But you got to love it. You got to love a guy who's so passionate about playing the game, who's so competitive, who wants to win that badly. And then from an offensive standpoint, it was a weird game. We only had 3 possessions in the entire first half. Mm-hmm. And it's impossible to get in a rhythm when we had 9 plays before our third possession, which was our last possession of the half, just because of the blocked punt that was returned. And then we had a 3-and-out our second drive, and then they converted 4th down. So it was a weird game. We really didn't get to play offensive football until the second half. And I thought we played pretty good offensive football in the second half once we got the ball and could sustain some drives.
On the defensive side of the ball, can you update the status of Keyshawn Elliott for this week?
Yeah, he should be good to go. Barring something happening here in the next 24 hours, he should be good to go, and that's huge for us. I mean, the positive part about when you get to not play, in my opinion, 2 of our top 10 players, if not 2 of our top 5 players in a game, is their legs are fresh. They essentially had another bye week with their lower body. Mm-hmm. So for those 2 guys, even though they were dinged up, they had another week of rest. And so I'm excited to get both of those guys back. I think both those guys can make a huge difference in the football game.
Last time out when you were on the road in a Big 12 game, it was the Oklahoma State game. You guys got a convincing win. There was challenges built in with that, with the weather. But getting that first Big 12 road win, how much do you tap into that? How valuable can that experience be going into Kansas State, a really tough place to play?
Yeah, I definitely think it's more like, it's off of our back. Mm-hmm. So guys aren't thinking about, do we really struggle on the road? Like, what is it? Like, sometimes you chase a lot of ghosts when you're a coach and a player in terms of trying to figure out what the problem is, when really there's no problem. At the end of the day, there's 22 people on the field, right? And there's going to be cheers. People are going to cheer, right? People are going to boo. And then there's going to be quiet. And you've got to learn that you got to feed off different, vibes when you're on the road. And I think definitely for our guys, we got over that hurdle last week or a few weeks ago. So I'm excited to see us go into another hostile environment, like I said, with kind of the chip stacked against us for a big football game. Not just a big football game for, the Phoenix and the Valley, but a big football game from a national scale of, the Big 12 Conference.
Yep. Kenny, best of luck tomorrow in Manhattan, and we'll talk to you next Friday.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Go Devils.
Thanks, Kenny. Limited Kenny Dillingham joining us here on the Arizona Sports Line for his weekly visit. Devils and Kansas State tomorrow, 5 o'clock. You can hear it here on Arizona Sports.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.